Okay, take a second, cross off number 7. I don't want to do that one either. And then let's look at 9. Again, I'm sorry, because the closer I stand to the TV, then it like gets a white screen. Okay, so we need to factor our first number, which is a 2. We got 1 and 2. And we need to factor the last number, which is a 9. You're going to have 1 and 9, or 3 and 3. Okay, we draw our 2 sets of parentheses. And so our first number, there's only one option. Okay, most of them are going to be like that. And so you can fill in the 1 and the 2. So we got 1 and 2. And we have 2 x's. Okay, so we can put x and x. Okay, and then now, because I got a 1, a 9, a 3, and a 3, there are 4 options for number choice. It could be 1 and a 9, or a 9 and a 1, a 3 and a 3, and I'm going to say a 3 and a 3, but this one it's kind of, yeah, because they're the same. And so just pick something and start there. Okay, so let's try 1 and a 9. Okay, and on all these we check the outer and the inner. Okay, well 1 times 9 is going to give me 9. 1 times 2 gives me 2. Okay, and I'm trying to get to this middle number, this 9 here in the middle. So would a 9 and a 2, either added or subtracted something, ever give me a negative 9? No. And so you really have to swap the order. So we've tried 1 and 9, but now let's try 9 and 1. Okay, we don't move down the list until you've exhausted every possible option, because then you're like, I tried everything, and I know you didn't. Okay? So we could say 9 and then 1. Okay, well, 1 times 1 is 1. 9 times 2 is 18. Would an 18 and a 1 ever give me a 9? No. Okay, and so we've tried 1 and 9 and 9 and 1. And so we know that this doesn't work for sure. We could kind of even cross it off if you wanted to. We know it doesn't work. Okay, and so our only other option is to try 3 and 3. 3 and 3. Okay, so 1 times 3 gives me 3. 3 times 2 gives me 6. Would a 3 and a 6 ever give me a 9? Well, and I need a negative 9. Yeah, how? How could I get a negative 9? It would have to be a minus minus. So you fill in minus minus. Okay, look at 11. Okay, we write down the factors of our first number, which is a 2, so 1 and 2, and the back number, which is also a 2, a 1 and a 2. Okay, and so we can draw our parentheses. And we can always fill in the first number, 1 and 2. And we have 2 R's, so we could say R and R. Okay, for the back number and how many options you should be checking are 2, 1, 2. Because if there was more numbers listed, if we had a 4, 2, 6, 4, okay, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. Okay, it could be 1 and then a 2, 2 and then a 1, a 4 and a 2, a 2 and a 4, a 6 and a 4, or a 4 and a 6. Okay, you could flip flop them all. So obviously, the smaller amount of numbers, the better it is for you. But so 1 and 2. So we can just fill them in, 1 and 2. We always check the outer and the inner. Okay, and we're trying to get to what? What are we trying to get them to add or subtract to? A negative 3. Okay, so we got 1 times 2 gives me 2. 1 times 2 gives me 2. Would a 2 and a 2 ever give me a 3? No. So we need to switch that back 1 and 2, okay? And put 2, then 1. 2, then 1. Okay, we check the outers and inners. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Would a 4 and a 1 ever give me a 3? A negative 3? How? How could I get a negative 3? We'd have to say minus 4 and a plus 1. Okay, so, and the best way to remember this is, since we wrote this number first, that sign goes in that box. We wrote this number second, it goes in the second box. Okay? Right? Nope, I did it backwards. You flip-flop them. Okay? So we wrote this one first, it's gotta go in that one, and then this one goes in that one. And that's because you would have negative 2 times 2 gives us negative 4, okay, for the inners. Okay, and so this is our answer. Okay, look at 13. Okay, we're going to factor our numbers. I got a 2, so you got 2 and 1 and 2. And we're going to factor this 9. So you got 1 and 9, 3 and 3. Okay, draw your parentheses. And you can fill in your first ones, 1 and 2. And they're going to be A's, A and A. Okay, we have 4, but really 3 because they're the same number. Answer choices: 1, 9, or a 9 and then a 1, a 3 and 3. Okay, so we could start with the 1, 9. So 1, 9. Okay, and we always check the outers and the inners. Okay, so for the outers, you're going to get 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so what's a 9 and a 2? Is that ever going to give me what I need? Well, what do I need? Okay, we're trying to add or subtract to give us what? It's this middle number, a positive 3. So would that ever give me a positive 3? No. Okay, and so instead of 1 and then a 9, we can try a 9 and then a 1. Okay, let's check the outers. 1 times 1 is 1. The inners, 9 times 2 is 18. Would an 18 and a 1 ever give me a 3? No. Okay, and so now we can check our next set. So we know 1 and 9 and 9 and 1 doesn't work. So we could check 3 and 3. 3 and 3. Okay, so we check the outers. 1 times 3 is 3, and the inners, 3 times 2 is 6. Would a 3 and a 6 ever give me a 3? Okay, they would, but how? How can I get a positive 3? Okay, well, it have to be minus 3 plus 6. Okay, and so since this one came first, it goes in the second box. And this one came second, so it's going to go in the first box. Okay, and the order does matter where you put those, okay? Which I know it seems silly, but the further when we distribute these out later in the week, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But for now, you just have to trust me on it, okay? Okay, 15. So we have 3, so you have 1 and then for our back number, we got 4. We got 1 and 4, 2 and 2. Okay, draw your parentheses, and you can fill in 1 and 3, X and X. Okay? And we always usually start with the top, so let's start with the 2 and 2 this time and see. Maybe that'll work. I genuinely don't know, so don't think I'm trying to trick you out. So let me try 2 and 2. Okay, we always check the outer and the inner. So 1 times 2 gives me 2. 2 times 3 gives me 6. Okay, would a 2 and a 6 ever give me a 4? I need a 4 here in the middle. Okay, it would, so I want you to think about how could I get a negative 4? Okay, well if this was a minus 6 and a plus 2. Okay, and so since this comes first, it goes in the second box. Since this comes second, it goes in the first box. So that one worked out nicely. So maybe try that. Maybe start on the bottom every time and see if that works better for you. I honestly don't know. Maybe that's just a trick with the worksheet. I'm not sure. All right. So I would like you guys to go through and let me make sure there's none else on here. Go through and try to do some of them on your own, and then make sure you get your e-learning done. Hopefully, if all goes well, say a prayer for me. Then I can come back to school on Wednesday. I'm dying at home. And I will see you guys soon. Do your best. Turn in the sheet either way before you leave. It's better to take a 10 out of 20 than a 0 out of 20. Okay? Because if you take it and you lose it, then I'm going to give you 0 and make you do the whole dang thing again. Okay? I miss you. And I will see you guys soon.